genre.
Doctor's Companion presents Doctor Who The Long Way Round, the weekly podcast where we review and discuss every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I'm Cass Fredrickson.
I'm Nick Jimenez.
And I'm Scott Corelli.
And today on the show, we'll be discussing The Time Monster, the third Doctor's 14th story.
Yes. This one aired between the 20th of May and 24th of June, 1972. It is the season finale of season 9 of the show, and was written by Robert Sloman, who had previously co-written The Demons under the credited name Guy Leopold, because he co-wrote it with Barry Letts. And producers aren't allowed to have writing credits per BBC rules at the time. I don't think that's still the case, but I don't know. So anyway, so he had written The Demons. The Demons was like, well, first of all, everyone loved The Demons. Everyone was very happy with that. We liked The Demons a lot. We were big fans of that one. With the Master doing like Doctor Strange shit. That was I don't know. It was cool. It's pretty metal. I don't know. Satanic Panic, that sort of thing. But yeah, so he was invited back because everybody liked that one. And the original intention was for him to The Demons, which was the finale of season 8. He was going to be writing the finale of season 9. And at first they were like, you know what? You did a really good job with the Demons episode. Let's have you do a Daleks episode. We'll call it the Daleks in London, and you can take a swing at that. And then as he started coming up with the treatment for that story, it was decided by the production that the Daleks should come back instead in the premiere of season 9, and that was Day of the Daleks. So they were like, I think we only need one Dalek story a season. So let's go ahead and scrap Daleks in London and instead come up with something else. So since he was, since the way that he had written The Demons was involved with popular folklore and stuff like that. He decided to replace the medieval legends of the devil and with like Greek mythology and Roman mythology and Olympian gods and stuff like that. But he was also required as part of his story to also make sure that he included Unit, the Master, and a historical setting. The historical setting was in place because it was suggested by the official Doctor Who fan club, which had recently been put together by a teenage fan named Keith Miller. And the zine or whatever they put out pointed out that Doctor Who had not ventured into the Earth's past since the Abominable Snowmen in 1967. They're like, aren't we overdue to go into the Earth's past? And I guess everybody involved was like, yeah, I guess that's true. Okay. Yeah, we got the TARDIS back.
That's crazy. That's a long time.
I know. It kind of is. Yeah. It's like 5 years. So they were like, so you have to go in the past, you got to have Unit, you got to have the Master. And he's like, and I want to do Greek gods. And he's like, okay, cool. So then he put all that in a blender and was mulling it around in his head. And then he was going for a walk one day, and a plane flew really close overhead to him, and scared the living shit out of him. And then he was just like, he got flashbacks to like what World War II was like, when like bombers would like come through like the city and stuff. And he's like, man, wouldn't it be so crazy if just like randomly like a bomber from World War II just like showed up out of nowhere? And then that came up. That's how he came up with the idea of time slipping. And then he wrote a treatment about World War II leaking into the present day, and gave that to Barry Letts. Barry Letts was like, we absolutely cannot afford this. Come up with something else. And so then that's when he like did the whole like Atlantis stuff, and brought all of that into play, because he wanted to involve the past, but the really like cool version of it, he was like, he wasn't allowed to do. So that led us to all of the Atlantis stuff. The Labyrinth was what they shot first. They actually shot this story like all out of order, which is like not the norm at the time. They kind of like shot it like a movie, and all the Labyrinth stuff was shot first. The Minotaur was played by David Prowse, who of course would go on to be Darth Vader. And he refused to do. He was expected to do all of his stunts, which included like running through a styrofoam wall, but he was like, "No, I don't do stunt work." So when he runs through the wall, that's done by a stuntman, but everything else is David Prowse, I guess. And yeah, the show got into some hot water with the unions, the acting unions, because they're the guy on horseback that is heading toward the line of trucks. They could only afford one stunt driver, and one of the regular drivers didn't move out of the way fast enough, and the horse hit the car, and then he flew off the horse.
Oh my God.
And got pretty injured. The Actors Union was not happy that A, they weren't using a stunt performer for that, and B, that they couldn't afford more than one stunt car driver. Because they're trained to get the fuck out of the way.
Right.
Yeah. So so that was bad. So they got in quite a bit of hot water. Let's see what else. I guess the only other notable thing. This is directed by Paul Bernard, who also directed Day of the Daleks, which makes sense to me because I think that this one has like a kind of similar sensibility to that one. A lot of like the visual humor and stuff is kind of similar. I think to Day of the Daleks. So it makes sense. I think it's the same director, and no one knew at the time, but this would be the last time that the unit crew would get to work with Roger Delgado, because they're not involved in his final story before his unfortunate passing. That's pretty much it. That's the Time Monster. And I don't know. This definitely wasn't as bad as the Mutants for me this time. I liked it better than that because at least there's like interesting stuff going on. I do think it's way too long, and I think that it's like it has pops of interesting stuff and then like lulls of really boring stuff. So it's kind of like I like teeter back and forth between like, okay, I'm kind of into this, and then being like, okay, I'm bored. So I don't know. I'm curious. Cass, did this change your vibes on this one a little bit or at all?
I think I don't know. Maybe like the Mutants was like pretty bad. I think they're like tied now for like the like my least favorite. I just the I don't find, there's just like a lot of boring stuff in this one.
Mhm.
And like I do like the monologue in episode 6
Mhm.
where the doctor talks about like the daisy and stuff.
Mhm.
And I like the master in this. I think I remember not liking the master in this the first couple times I saw it. But his weird like rivalry with the doctor was fun in this.
Mhm.
So I think it improved a little in the decade since I've seen it last, but not by a whole lot.
Nick, what were your thoughts?
I was quite entertained by this one, surprisingly. I and actually I remember around like 5 or 6 when we finally get to Atlantis, I remember kind of making the mental note of like, wow, we're usually pretty down on these 6-parters, but I'm kind of like satisfied with how it kind of like would do these fun gear shifts. Like I was the first half when it was like Race to Atlantis, I was like, oh, this is fun. And when like the subterfuge and like the things coming out of the sky with like, the master being like, this will fuck him up. And like, sending in knights and B-1 bombers and that. And then when we got to Atlantis, it kind of shifted into like another kind of Who episode where it's like, I'm the conniving queen. And it's like, I'm the nice handmaiden that befriends the companion. That it kind of, I'm also very impressed now, Scott, listening to how this was sort of itemized for Sloman. And like, wow, he really fit all of the things that were requested of him. And in my opinion, none of them felt shoehorned. Like Unit felt very like at home. And then when we shifted into the master, and then when we shifted into like the historical aspect.
Right.
So yeah, I was quite surprised by this and how not bored I was for it being 6 parts.
That's good.
Yeah. This one definitely. I remember really not liking this the first time I watched it, but this time I don't know, it didn't bother me so much. Except for like just like a few lulls where I was like, okay, the old guy's been talking a long time. And I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about the Atlantis stuff. I also think that's largely why this one leaves a bad taste in so many people's mouths. I think it's just because you're like, what a waste of Atlantis. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna do Atlantis, and like this is the story you come up with,
or like the Minotaur, like all 2 minutes of him.
Yeah, right.
The 2 Minotaur.
The 2 Minotaur. That's what they call David Prowse on set.
Like a 2 Minotaur. Won't do shit. Won't even run through a styrofoam wall. He'll never make it big.
Oh no, the 7-foot tall man is scared of the scary styrofoam wall.
What's the point of you then? You big tall freak.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's talk about the time monster. Nick, kick us off.
Yeah, we began with the doctor having what Joe Grant describes as a real Pippin of a dream. Having just like these demonic nightmares, which is fun. I always like the kind of domesticity of this like Unit era of the show. And the doctor's like, yeah, something bad's gonna happen.
I like that they reuse for his dream. They reuse Inferno's lava stock footage.
Oh, that's right. He has a vision of a volcano.
Yeah. And it's just reused stock footage from Inferno. Like for the title card, there was like lava behind the title card, and they just reused that, but like sans title card.
Did they ever say that Atlantis has like a volcano under it or something?
They talk about like the island chain in the present day, but no, that connection doesn't come back up when they're in the past.
Because it even goes into where 3 is like, yeah, something about to do with a mountain, a volcano. and so much happens that I wasn't like, when are they going to get back to that volcano bit? But now you're totally right.
When are they gonna get to the volcano?
I was millhousing a little bit once about Atlantis, because once they bring up Atlantis, I was just kind of spending like, okay, well, when are they gonna get to Atlantis? I kind of
yeah, that's fair.
The Master is at the Newton Institute under the guise of Professor Thaskolos. Kind of sounds a little like Ranskor Avkolos.
That's true.
Hashtag it's all connected.
That's true. Oh,
I wonder if anyone else besides us remembers what that episode is called.
I think it's just you.
I think it's just me.
Like...
Yeah.
How could you forget?
It's just stuck in my brain.
I don't even know if Chibnall remembers what that episode's called.
So, Mr. Chibnall, in the Battle of Ranskor Avkolos, when
the what?
You made that up. The rip-roaring season 10 finale.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Master under the guise of Professor Thaskolos is fucking around with the incredibly acronymed TomTit.
Yeah.
I didn't write down what it's like. Time outside. It's like basically outside of time. It's a beacon or a thing that will create energy that moves outside of linear time. And we will learn why the Master is doing that thusly. His two assistants at the Newton Institute are Dr. Hyde and Dr. Ingram. Hyde being this kind of long-haired, mustachioed 25-year-old, and Dr. Ingram being kind of a 70s women's lib kind of stock character. And I like both of these cats. I thought they were pretty chill.
I couldn't quite figure out what if they had beef with Ingrid. Is that her name?
Ingram.
Ingram. With Ingram, or if they were like, yeah, men are terrible. Because like she's constantly being like fucking men, but she's like equally like, God, you're acting like a bunch of women.
I caught that too, and she was like, "You're arguing about a couple old women," and I'm like, "What's that?" Was like, "Are you being like a pick me right now?" Like,
yeah, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
I did like though in that instance he calls her on it. She's like, "Oh, you know what I mean." Yeah, no, I like some of their banter, but a lot of it didn't land for me. Like, I don't really know what their vibe is, or really like, I don't know. They had like weird chemistry.
No, for sure. There's a part where Hyde is like, they're arguing with the Master, and he's like, "Am I my sister's keeper?" And I was like, "Whoa, wait, are they?" Because I guess their banter could be sibling-y, kind of like the siblings in Severance, where it's like, "Hey sis, hey bro," like. But and then I was like, "Oh wait, I don't think they are actually. I think he was just using the expression."
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if they were like actual brother and sister, if it was like the two nerds on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where like for the first season, you're like, oh yeah, they're like brother and sister, right? They're like twins or something. And then it's like, oh no, they want to like bone. Okay.
Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Fitzsimmons. Yeah, you're like, oh, that's a different energy than I thought this was.
Cass, did you ever watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I watched the first half of the first season, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Did you get to the Hydra twist? That was fun.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Some of them are Hydra.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
But yeah, so the Master has duped these two 20-something scientists into helping him activate TomTit, which is going to skip to the end. He's using TomTit to activate Kronos, the god of time, so that he can control him and enslave them to do master stuff.
Yeah, there's a character that old Russell T could have brought back in his Gods and Monsters era. Could have brought back Kronos.
I found myself thinking about this era a lot. Yeah, Cass, thoughts on that?
No, thank you.
I think if he had done that, like obviously, like prior to me rewatching this time, I would have been so upset.
Yeah. I think it would have been really funny because like it just would have been like the same fucking like giant monster skull, but like now it has wings. Like that's all it would have been.
I liked how whenever the doctor or whenever the master would try to awaken Kronos, it was just like when a bat gets into the inside of a house.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Get it out! It's like,
someone get the net.
Get it out of here! Fuck!
It really was like that every time.
And it's like, okay, so listener, so you don't have to watch this 6-parter. Every time this god of it's like a Chronovore, which shows up again in like 9th Doctor stuff, and 8th Doctor stuff. But it's literally like a person that's dressed in a white sheet, like fluttering it around and pretending to make bird noises, and the camera is like zooming in aggressively.
Yeah, and then you just keep cut to people being like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And then you cut back to it. It's a close up of like flapping wings.
Yeah, it's very like Kate Bush, like Babushka Baby vibes. Just like early like music video. But yeah, no, I mean like to your point, Scott. I mean like we were all three of us were pretty roundly disappointed in Omega's usage in Reality War, and so it's like it's depressing how easy it would have been just to like dub over every time they said Omega and just say Kronos.
Literally nothing would have changed, and that really says a lot about everything. Yeah, that's brutal. Anyway,
but we'll get into other times. This episode kind of made me think of the current era of the show in interesting ways. But
now it's the past era of the show.
Now past era.
God,
well, because it's kind of I don't know. Let's just say at one point the Doctor ends up kind of in the TARDIS. As like a voice kind of, and I was like, oh, hold on a second. Hey now, interesting. So meanwhile, Unit is going to visit Tom Tit to see it turned on to like kind of be the military supervision. And the Brigadier is like, well, come on, let's go. And the Doctor's like, I'm not going. Like, why not? And then like, who I always get them mixed up. Who's the one that who's the one that has to stay? Was Benton the one that was on 48-hour leave?
Yes.
Yeah, Benton's like, well, I'm off to 48-hour leave. And Brigadier's like, no, you're not. You're coming with me to visit Tom Tit. And he's like, what's Tom Tit? I'm like, you're going to find out.
Nothing. What's Tom Tit with you?
Hey-oh. Meanwhile, back at the Newton Institute, the Hyde and Ingram attempt to turn on Tom Tit while the Master is out of the room, and meanwhile, the Doctor is showing Jo his time sensor, this kind of like tracker, and she's like, "What's that, Doctor?" And it's like, "Oh, well, it kind of helps me find other time machine devices." And Joe's like, oh, so it detects other TARDISes. And he's like, or time travel devices. And then it goes off as Ingram and Hyde are turning on Tom Tit. And the Doctor's like, oh, that's weird. Like there's another time machine that just got activated or some kind of time contraption. It's coming from the Newton Institute. Let's go to the Newton Institute. So they go there. The master scolds Hyde and Ingram for turning on Tom Tit without them. But then, or without him rather. But then they Unit's arriving, and Hyde's like, "Oh look, there's Unit," and the master's like, "Oh shit." I'm a pacifist. I don't like the military. You guys do it without me. And so part 1 ends with them turning on Tom Tit and Kronos coming out, and the master being like, "Yes, come, Kronos," and then that's like the big cliffhanger.
Someone get the net.
Someone get the net. Episode 2, because Kronos like sucks the time out of Hyde, and he becomes like an 80-year-old man, and he's all wrinkled and like, this man's only 25. Like, what the heck? And so they're in the hospital bed, and the Brigadier has this one part where he's like, "Well, the only thing that does this is age, is time." And the doctor's like, "Oh, that's right. You're a genius." I like the part where the Brig Express, like, he orders like a bunch of guns, the base.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, and go ahead and throw in a couple of throw in a couple
Tanks?
of tank. Yeah, no, a couple of tank piercing rounds into the boot while you're at it." It's just like, this is insane. British people, the Brits, like, relationship with like guns and ammo and weapons are like so interesting, because they're like they've like weirdly like romanticized it in like a fun, like, cowboys, like, American kind of way, where they're like guns, wow, crazy, imagine having guns.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine. So, so basically the master scheme in this is he wants to obtain the crystal of Kronos. But there's like, the crystal is actually like a part of a whole, and the other half of the crystal is in Atlantis. So the master's scheme becomes to, like, okay, get to Atlantis to take the other half of the crystal. There is this fun bit where the master pretends to be the Brigadier to try and get Benton to, like, leave his post so they can sneak into the lab. But then Benson is like, "You idiot, that's the oldest trick in the book. Like, I would never fall for that." And the master's like, "Oh my god, the doctor!" And then he like knocks out Benton and goes, "No, that's the oldest trick in the book, you bitch."
Poor Benton.
Yeah.
That one felt that. See, that reminded me of like the same sense of humor as like the doctor's got like a drink in one, a brandy in one hand, and is just like judo chopping a guy with the other. Like, it's the same kind of, like, check this out kind of thing.
Yeah, he judo chops the Minotaur later.
Yeah, hell yeah, he does. Yeah.
So episode 3 ends with him summoning the High Priest of Atlantis. I can't remember this dude's name. I think it was Achelios or Helios or
Krasis.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah. What did you think of Cassius? Cassius.
He's fine. I like that he I guess this is like the next episode or whatever, but like the master's like, "Hey, check this out." And then he like shows off, and like this guy was pulled from ancient Greece, so he has no context for any of what the master's about to show him. But he's just like, "Yeah, I have dominion over time. I'm pulling like horses and soldiers at a time." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's pretty dope." So
so this isn't from this era? No.
You're right. I also like his outfit. I like his fluttery robe is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the master's like, "Why couldn't I control him?" And this is when he learned, because Helios is like, "Oh, you need the crystal." So this is the part where the master locks the good guys in like the basement, and the doctor, in real like 13th Doctor coded fashions a kind of bootleg time jammer out of like bobs and bits that are in the basement.
Mhm.
And there's this really funny bit where the whole time the brigadier is like, "What are you doing, you idiot? This isn't gonna work." And there's this part where he's like, "All right, I'm turning it on," and then it turns on and goes, "It doesn't work." And then off camera, you just hear the brig go, "You astound me."
Is this some good brig in this one? Actually, there's some pretty good brig moments
for sure. But then what ends up making it work is the Hyde's like, "How about a nice cup of tea?" And he's like, "Oh, tea. Wait, that's it." So he downs the tea, and like for some reason, tea leaves makes the jammer work, I guess.
It's because it's all made up stupid bullshit.
Right, because it's
Yes.
all made up stupid bullshit.
I did like the fun like lore stuff, like the Doctor and the Master used to just cobble together like these weird little machines to like fuck with their experiments while they were at school.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was fun. Like, yeah, well, we used to do this to sabotage one another's like science projects.
mm-hmm.
That's great. And this is where we get the aforementioned stunt where a knight with a lance and a horse tries to charge at the convoy that's coming with all the brig's weaponry.
Mhm.
And the episode ends with a bomber dropping a bomb on where the TARDIS is.
Okay, but before that happens, he calls up.
Please.
Doesn't he call up
yeah,
the brigadier? And he's like, "Hey, there was a guy on a horse. So he was like trying to joust with the convoy." And he's like, "Are you drunk?" And he's
You're
like,
drunk.
No. He came and then he disappeared in a puff of green smoke. He's like, "You are drunk."
That's great.
I did like, yeah, because he's the brig's like, "Oh, are you like hallucinating?" And then he calls back when the like 16th century like dudes with the guns and the cannons show up.
Oh yeah, the
Like, he's
cannonballs.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Yep, here's another hallucination," and you can hear like gunfire in the walkie-talkie.
You're drunk. Go home. So yeah, the Master's plan is to bomb the TARDIS, and well, because like at one point Helios is like, "Oh, so you destroy the TARDIS?" Like, no, the TARDIS is indestructible, but people are not. So it's like kill the people that would control the TARDIS. So they do this cool thing. I think this is kind of the coolest part of the episode where like the oh wait, no shit, that hasn't happened yet. Wait, no. Yeah, this is the part. Yeah, okay. So the Master and Helios are like, we have to go to Atlantis now. And so but the Doctor and Joe are hot on their tail, and so they apparate the TARDIS inside of the Master's TARDIS. So when Joe and the Doctor run out of the TARDIS door, they run out directly into another TARDIS console. And Joe's like, "Where are we?" And it's like, "We're inside of the Master's TARDIS." And it's like, God, wait, no. The way the Doctor worded it was so sexual. And I'm trying to remember, like, "You mean your TARDISes are inside of each other?" And he's like, "Yes."
Finally. Yeah. He leaves a note on the console that just says, "Tee hee hee, I was inside you." Master's like, "God damn it.
Not again.
Not again.
Not again." That was a
this
one-time
is-
thing, Doctor.
One time in college. Man, I'm just picturing like just the guys in Challengers, you know?
Yep. Oh yeah. It's like 1,000. That's the energy that the Doctor and the Master and the Rani should have.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
The Rani's just like, I just want some good fucking tennis.
Oh my god.
That's the vibe she should have had in the fucking finale for sure.
Oh my god. Well, the master would have had to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If only he had seen Challengers before writing those episodes, maybe things would be different.
If only he hadn't written those in 2022 or whenever.
Yeah.
So, Benton gets turned into a baby.
He sure does. I have very pretty fucking sad, heartbreaking news about that baby. That baby did not live to be 1 year old.
No.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's so sad.
It is the youngest death of a actor on Doctor Who in the history of the show. Yeah. It's a real fucking bummer.
That's depressing as
hell. I know.
That's a cute baby.
I know, it was a cute baby.
Was it just
I don't know the details. I just know that because it was it's I don't think it was reported on or anything. It was in the commentary for this episode. Barry Letts mentions it in the commentary.
Wow.
So, and he just kind of did it in passing where he's like, yeah, it was really sad. But
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
Woof.
So Benton gets turned into a baby, and then episode 4 ends with the master trapping the doctor in what he calls a living death beyond anyone's help, kind of expelling him out of time. And then episode 5 starts with Joe being like, "No, I'm alone," but then it's like, "Oh, press this button in case of emergency." And this is when we get the thing I was alluding to of it's the doctor being like, "Hello, Joe, it's me. I'm in the TARDIS, but don't worry, just press this button." But it's because current time of recording, listeners, there's a theory. If you've seen Reality War, A, I'm sorry, but B, right there with you. But that's kind of a prevailing theory right now, is that the version of Billie Piper that we see is a physical manifestation of the TARDIS, and the doctor is now inside of the box, the console, the machine of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I think I just think that it's so funny that if you get a shirt with all the doctors on it, the 16th Doctor will just be the TARDIS, and then an actor after that.
That thing's got really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Okay, but the TARDIS, but instead of the little light at the top, it's like a little fez.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Hell yeah. Little fez.
Yeah.
Hello.
Bring it back.
We couldn't get Matt Smith back, so we got close. We got something with a really strong square jaw and a fez. It just happens to be blue.
I was thinking about that the other day of so we're clearly in Doctor Who is unfortunately, and it's kind of weren't the 2000s great era. So it's okay, we brought David Tennant back. Now we're bringing Billie Piper back. And I was eventually the way it's now we're remaking Lilo and Stitch. Are we going to hit the point where, when are we going to bring Karen Gillan back? When are we going to bring Arthur Darvill back? When are we going to bring Matt Smith back? Are we 5-10 years away from that happening?
I don't think. I feel like Matt Smith wouldn't come back. I just don't think he has interest in coming back. I think Arthur Darvill would probably come back, because what else is he doing? But I think Karen Gillan and Matt Smith are both kind of too busy and too big to come back to Doctor Who. That would be my assumption. But I feel like we have seen what is essentially the Sixth Doctor regenerate, and now we're about to get whoever the 7th New Who Doctor is. We're gonna see them, and then the show will be canceled. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think it's just it's history repeating itself. That's what I think is gonna happen. Unfortunately, because we even have a gay producer who is running the show into the fucking ground.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, by just repeating the same problems over and over again. The gay part is a coincidence, has no bearing on what is
No, of
actually
course.
happening, but it's just a funny
So
coincidence
fu-
that it's
yeah.
happening
Two
again.
nickels. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they get to Atlantis.
Nick's like, I don't want to think about the show getting canceled.
I mean, we'll have plenty of audio adventures to have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
It'll come, and it would come back again eventually. It's just like
Sure, of
I
course.
think it's going to go on ice for a long time after
Mm.
they try to fix it this one last time. But we'll see.
Right. I mean, what? I guess what didn't, because we talked about this on a Reality War episode, but what didn't work about the 15 era, in our opinion, was just kind of like truncated seasons with like kind of hit or miss storytelling,
Mhm.
and that equated to like kind of mixed word of mouth,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I guess the only thing that would save it now is just like banger stories and
Mhm.
great word of mouth,
Mhm.
but
And a great
we will
doctor.
and a great doctor played by
That's all.
by-
Just a really fucking great doctor. I'm almost wondering if the next doctor will be like a stunt cast, like a big name.
Oh.
Yeah, as like a final, like, well, let's try this one last time. Let's try
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
You know, like
Like
Bill
Meghan
Nye
Markle.
as the doctor, like something like that. Hugh Grant as the doctor. Let's bring him back in again. Something like that. Some kind of like big name.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, maybe not that big. Yeah, he's gonna be like, yeah, this is one of the last 3 projects I'm ever going to do before I retire.
I'm from the planet Gal. No accent. No. Oh God.
But hey,
So, yeah.
7 short years after it's canceled, we'll have a new American produced Doctor Who movie.
Hell yeah.
With
Yeah.
spider leg Daleks.
That won't go anywhere, and then it'll go on ice for another 9 years.
Timothy Chalamet is the doctor.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Bring Will Sasso back.
Yeah. Oh God damn it. So there's that king at Atlantis, and there's that one guy, the young kid, who's like, things were, the people are hungry, like bring Kronos back. And the older guy's like, you don't know what you're talking about, man. The
Mhm.
Kronos era was not as good as people remember it being. It was actually a pretty tumultuous time. And then the master arrives, and we get the queen, who's like, wow, I like the cut of this guy's jib.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he might really get stuff done. Joe and the doctor arrive. What did we think of Joe's costume change in this?
Oh, I like her costume.
Mm.
Her dress and the wig. It's
Her
cute.
Atlantean dress.
I really liked it because I was kind of on edge the whole time because I could tell that she was like very conscious of like keeping her skirt down because it's like so fucking high, like her first costume, that it's like every time
Yeah.
she fell down, she was like putting her arms in place like between her legs and I was like, this has got to be so fucking stressful. Like, I'm so glad this dress is longer.
I did like her like neon yellow like thigh boots.
Those were
That
cool.
first
Yeah.
outfit, though.
Yeah.
Her regular costume. Yeah, I love the boots and the green, the kind of like green on
Mhm.
green.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Joe's
cool.
just so chic.
Yes.
She's very stylish.
Like, she's not as like, twee Kate Nash, like Sarah Jane,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
but she's a little more sleek, with her shag haircut. It's a little more like
Mhm.
mature and chic a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like Joe in this episode
Yeah.
in general.
I liked her hair
So-
a lot in the Atlantean costume, especially.
Hmm.
Mm.
Her
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
was cool.
So the queen is making machinations to make an alliance with the master to overthrow the king. The doctor and Joe are thrown in jail. And this is when we get the monologue that Cass mentioned at the top of the episode, which to me really struck me as like the modern show kind of peeking out of like, wow, I could see this happening with like 10. Like, this very wistful as existential monologue about this old man that like shows him a daisy, and it was like the color, and like this is what the secret of time is like the simplicity of this weed, this daisy, you know.
This is a very popular monologue in Doctor Who circles, and there's a whole Wikipedia page about the Hermit. Which is now what they're referring to as his Gallifreyan, like the Doctor, the Master, the Hermit. And there's like ongoing conversations about like, oh, is this guy the dude from the Twin Dilemma? His like friend, the Gallifreyan, old Gallifreyan guy, and like what is his deal?
That's a pull.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. There's like lots of like, the Wikipedia page is like, it could be this, or it could be this, or it could be this, or it could be none of these things. And it's just like, okay, all right. Or it's just a monologue and everybody needs to chill the fuck out.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. We forgot to talk about the Doctor pretending to be like a matador and baiting the Minotaur with a cloak.
Yeah. So they go into the episode 5 ends with Joe being trapped in the maze, and then the Minotaur comes out. It's David Prowse, and the Doctor is like, Toto!
Yeah.
And that's what he judo chops the Minotaur.
That's what the rebels should have done when he boarded them in Star Wars.
Baiting Darth Vader.
Yeah, just baiting Darth Vader. All of this
Darth Vader
could have been avoided.
It's so stupid.
David Prowse just can't handle him. Just can't help himself. I gotta run at that thing. Look at him waving it around,
mocking
son of a bitch.
So the Minotaur is defeated. The king dies in prison. Unfortunately, sad. And then upstairs, up in the court of Atlantis, the queen and the master make their grand debut, and the master starts giving the speech about how, yada, 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 I'm in charge now. The Doctor and Joe show up, and they're like, hey, the king's dead. And the queen is like, what? I didn't think he would die. No. Oh, man. And then for the third time in a row, the master unleashes Kronos, and it's just like, like a bat getting into a dining room, and everyone just like freaks out.
Yeah. And there's someone in the room who wants to kill the bat. Another one who wants to save the bat.
No, just open the door. Just let it
out. Somebody get a bowl or something.
That's how Atlantis is destroyed. It's just this bat in the room.
Yeah.
I've got a broom.
No.
That's crazy. So the master takes Joe. They run into the TARDIS, and the Doctor appears in another TARDIS, and he attempts to do something called a time ram, which is when two TARDISes apparate and occupy the same time and space simultaneously, and it would cause oblivion. And the master's like, you wouldn't, and the Doctor's like, I would. And the master calls the Doctor's bluff. It's like, yeah, you're not going to do it because your precious companion is on board, and it would kill you. That's your biggest weakness, Doctor. You love your companion, and just like, fuck this, and then she turns the lever all the way and makes the time ram happen. And then they are visited by Kronos' true form, and it's like a big old lady. Her eyes.
But first, Joe like literally is just like, hey, Doctor, wake up. We're dead. We're both dead. We're in heaven.
That was great. It's like, what? Hey, we're dead.
We must be in heaven or whatever. I don't know.
Whatever, or something. I don't know. I'm still conscious, so.
I killed us both. Aren't you proud of me?
She's so chill about it. It's so great.
I love that the time vortex or whatever like little dimension they're in though is like it's just two TARDISes parked next to each other and then like green screen.
Yeah.
Like
hell yeah.
Like like watercolors. I don't know.
Oh man. And so Kronos is like, this is my true form. I'm not usually that like screeching white like bat in white robes. This is my true form. And the Doctor's like, what about the master? And it's like, oh, I will torture him forever. An eternity of torture for him, indeed. Yes, I think torture. And the master's like, no, please, I beg of you. And the doctor's like, please, let me, I don't know. What is, it's like, oh, let me do it our way, Earth justice. And the master immediately is like, psych, bitch. And he pushes the doctor and escapes. And Joe's like, you fucking idiot. Like, why did you do that? The doctor's like, because he's my boyfriend. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah. And then they all go back to unit, and they're like, and Brigadier is like, what the bloody fuck is going on? And then Benton stands up because he's like an adult again, but he's completely nude, and he's like, can somebody explain to me what's going on? And everybody laughs, and they freeze frame, and that's the end of the episode.
It's the end of the season.
Yeah, it's the end of the season. Yeah. God, imagine if a Doctor Who season ended like that now.
Be better than what we got.
Oh, well, that's true. Fair enough. Fair enough.
If that one unit guy, the doctor that everyone thinks is hot, was like,
yeah,
naked, and the glip is like, beep boop, naked isn't allowed, and then everyone's like, oh, the glip or the cleek or whatever your name is.
Yeah.
Damn it. So yeah, the time monster, not much of a time monster. I kind of wish the episode had been called like Race to Atlantis or the Atlantean plot or something. I don't know.
They would get stuck on like, who's the villain in this? Let's name it that. That a lot of classic Who stories get stuck on that, and it's like, well, I mean, the villain is the master again, so like, can we just come up with something more interesting than that?
The Master Again is a pretty great title.
The Master Again. That's true. Oh man.
So yeah, Cass, any closing thoughts on the Time Monster?
I'm looking forward to never watching this again.
Oh. Here.
Yay.
Kronos still out there. Could make a return appearance,
That's true.
Reality War ended so weirdly that I don't even know if we're supposed to think of the Pantheon as like a closed story arc now, like,
oh yeah, like
for all we know, whatever Billy Piper has going on will still involve the Pantheon. Like, I don't know.
True. Maybe she's Kronos.
Who cares? Fuck it.
Next week we talk about the Deadly Assassin.
Yeah.
A Fourth Doctor story that is quite good indeed.
He's got a gun.
Yeah. But make it Gallifrey.
He's got a gun, but make it Gallifrey.
Yeah. So anyway, that is next week on the show. Looking forward to talking about that one. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you then. Bye.